Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, taking care of business on Canada's podcast network. Joining me today is Annie Dormuth, who is Provincial Director in BC and Alberta for the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. Thanks for joining us, Annie.
Of course, always great to talk to you, Mario.
Well, let's talk about this coming Saturday. We have Small Business Saturday, the initiative. Tell me a little bit about that and what it is and why it's in place.
Well, of course, we're speaking on the eve, I would have to say, the kickoff to the holiday season and really a big shopping weekend for really everyone around, all Canadians. It is the eve of Black Friday. We have Black Friday tomorrow. And then we also have Small Business Saturday, which is really a kind of a rallying cry for everyone out there who are possibly looking for those sales to think about shopping locally this holiday season. We do this every year with partnership from American Express. And again, it's just to remind all Canadians, everyone, the importance of shopping local throughout the holiday season.
And why is that important?
Well, it's definitely important because, as we all know, small businesses are a major contributor to the overall Canadian economy. They are the ones that make up the most businesses. They employ the most Canadians, oftentimes people right in their local communities. So it's critically important this holiday season to show them some love, help support them, especially during these very challenging economic times.
All right. I understand the CFIB has some resources out there for businesses. Can you talk a bit about that?
For sure. We have so many great infographics for small businesses to get involved, to put up a sign in their business about, the importance of shopping local, the importance of visiting their business this holiday season. All businesses, I encourage them to go to Small Business Every Day with a lot of resources on how they can participate in this wonderful campaign.
Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about get a little pulse of what's happening across the country with small businesses. Let's talk first of all about debt. What's kind of the figure these days that you folks have out there for the average debt incurred by businesses in Canada throughout the pandemic?
Well, definitely speaking of those economic challenging times, economic recovery is slow going for our local businesses. Only 54% are still below what they consider normal revenues for this time of year. Many of them are still trying to pay back that pandemic related debt, which on average is around $150,000 per Canadian small business. On top of that, as we all know, they are also dealing with other challenges in the form of rising interest rates and inflation that are definitely putting a damper on the holiday season for them, especially in the retail sector.
And of course, today the business barometer came out, and I was shocked in some ways to see how low it has gotten. Like
Yes, well,
were
definitely,
you
yeah,
surprised by
definitely on
that?
the Yeah, well, it is definitely, I would have to say, a wake-up call for consumers out there that now more than ever, local businesses, especially in the retail sector, need our support. Unfortunately, both on the 3-month and the 6-month outlook did take a dip in November. And what is concerning is retail, this is the lowest that we have seen since really the start of the pandemic in early 2020. So not definitely what we were wanting to see, especially for retail businesses heading into their busiest time of season.
Why do you think these challenges in terms of the confidence level and optimism levels are still there, considering the fact that I shouldn't say we're past the pandemic, but in many ways we are. We've moved forward. We're done with the lockdowns. We're done with the restrictions. Uh, I'm hearing that people are coming back to the stores and coming back to the malls. Traffic is up. So why are their level of confidence still so low?
Well, definitely, again, it's all those other economic challenges that have really beleaguered, I would have to say, businesses throughout the summer months here. Every business was really hoping for a big economic boom throughout the summer. It simply wasn't the case, again, because of rising inflation and interest rates that are affecting consumer habits as well as putting, a pinch on business owners' own bottom line, their own ability to expand. And again, most of their additional revenues are going back to paying back that pandemic-related debt. So
Yeah.
again, it's a cumulative, I would have to say, impact of all of these challenges as why we are seeing these unfortunate low levels of optimism.
Okay, and Annie, what are you hearing from business owners regarding labor? Obviously we come into this period of time where things get busier. For a number of different businesses out there, more people out and about and shopping, etc. But you need the staff to deal with that. Are there still issues there in terms of finding staff for small business owners?
Well, definitely labor shortages was a challenge during the pandemic, and that still continues to be a challenge for small businesses. In the monthly business barometer, we do report that the top, I would have to say, limits on business productivity are related to labor shortages. So yes, still a challenge for small businesses, and I think you can probably still see a lot of help wanted signs. Especially again in those tourism and hospitality industries that were hardest hit during the pandemic, that saw a lot of their workers simply not return because of the on and off restrictions, still struggling to find staff.
All right, super. Thanks very much, Annie, for joining us today.
Always great to talk to you, Mario.
All right, super. That was Annie Dormuth, who is Provincial Director of BC and Alberta for the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, taking care of business on Canada's Podcast Network. Thanks for joining us today.